Hi, designers. I am Anna Livermore from Mora, and today we are talking about the part two of goal setting for 2024. So if you haven't watched the part one that was from last week, it's on Instagram and YouTube and LinkedIn and all the places, Facebook, all the places that this live is streaming. So you can go check that out. Just a little intro. I'm Anna Livermore, owner of Mora. We help launch fashion designers. We can help with just general advice of like, how the heck do I do this? Who do I go to? What are the steps? Why is a tech pack important? All of those things that can seem really, really overwhelming as a new designer, we help with and make simple and have strategies and proven success tracks for all the designers. We've been doing this for 15 years. Well, I personally started Mora 15 years ago. So yeah, if you need any help, we also do the patterns and samples, tech packs, and manage production. So if you're looking for not only advice, but how to do it, when to do it, the people to do it with, and implementing the steps, we help as well. So if you're looking to book time to talk more about that on our website, you can always book a free 20-minute strategy with me, and we can go over more details on how we could help. All right, so let's get into it. I am going to screen share my template, and I'll go over a review of what we went over last time. So if you remember, we picked a theme. I also went over why it's important to pick up and look at this business plan every quarter to pick the 3 to 4 tasks you're going to focus on. We went over guidelines. And if you remember, I said that I was going to share my guidelines with you this week. So I have those ready. So that'll just work for an example. Again, reminder, I'm a new mom, I'm pregnant. So my guidelines are like back to basics. So I'll go over those. We went over financial and the marketing. So today we're going to go over systems, practices, and team, and give you some examples on that. Again, on the financial and marketing, and this goes for everything, you want to make sure that these are tangible items that you can cross off at the end of the year. They're not vague where you're saying, where you're saying like, put money in savings. And it's like, sure, $1. How much are you going to be putting? What percentage of your income are you going to be putting? All of these goals should be a little bit of a stretch, not so astronomical that it's going to be impossible for you to reach any of them, but a little bit uncomfortable, but also you want to be excited about it. You want to be excited about everything that you put down. If you're not, maybe it's something you need to delegate, or maybe it's something that you shouldn't be focusing on. We went over that and like how I decided to just focus on Mora as a company that helps fashion designers rather than having my own collection. So that was in last week's call. So just kind of figuring out why you're not excited about something is really important. Like it should spark joy, make you excited. It should be something that you're looking forward to. And if it's not, really looking into, is this something I should be delegating? Should I hire people to help? Or is this something that I'm not excited about, so I shouldn't be focusing on? So keeping that in mind. And then, okay, so my guidelines. Now, let me tell you, I should have pulled up my guidelines from like 10 years ago. It was like, go to hot yoga for 90 minutes every day for 90 days. Cook every meal from scratch. And I did all of that because at the time I had the time. I, just was single and didn't have kids or a husband. So now it looks different. I was joking last week, if you were here, that I was going to put shower every day. on here, but I decided it's okay if I shower every other day. Not a big deal. So what I have put on mine is my guidelines. I want to make 1 to 2 self-care appointments a month. So whether that would be acupuncture, I like to do float tanks, maybe it's a yoga class, a prenatal yoga class, but something for myself. I find that now that I'm a mom, I'm not really doing any of those things. And if I am, it's during the hours that my son has childcare, which those hours are the hours I should be dedicating to my business. So I'm trying to fit everything in within the hours of my childcare so that when I don't have childcare, my only responsibility is my son. And yes, that's important. Very, very important. But I think it's also important that I am doing those self-care things that make me feel good. So I always used to say you have to take care of yourself so you could take care of your business. That's what these guidelines are about. But I also need to apply that I have to take care of myself so I can take care of my family. Because if I'm not sleeping, eating, if I'm not doing any self-care, I'm not as good of a wife or a mother or business owner. So yeah, this year looks slightly different, but that's my goal, is to do 2 self-care appointments a month. Even like get my nails done. I haven't gotten my nails done in a very long time. So yes, I'm going to do that. I want to work out 3 times a week. That is doable. 3 times is comfortable. It makes me feel better in general. I have the Peloton treadmill, so I can do this while the baby's napping. We have a gym a few blocks away, so working out 3 times a week should be doable. I want to leave for lunch every other week. So going out, even if it's like to a Starbucks, like I work from home now, and just leaving the house. Again, I'm back to basics. Don't judge me, but leaving the house, I think, is going to help. And then my 4th one is taking 20 minutes in the morning, screen free. So that's been helping. I've been implementing that already. And then the last one is cook a healthy breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or bake. I really like to bake. So all of these are there with the intention of, last week I was telling you I was feeling like really wound up tight, and things were just like against the grain, and it was really like I was just really overwhelmed. I was feeling a lot of overwhelm. So I picked a few of these things and I've started implementing them already. And it helps. Like, what I'm really grateful for is that I know the solution. I know what helps. I know how to get myself out of that funk. So all of these things will help. So if I'm feeling like super stressed at work and things are just, every email that comes in is hard and every project is hard and everything is just like, I can feel it. Then I can go to this list and look and say like, hey, maybe I should make an acupuncture appointment, or why don't I go to the gym for 30 minutes? Even that 30 minutes would help, or like a walk outside would help. I can step away and cook a healthy lunch, or like I said, bake. I love to bake, even just like making muffins so I can have it in the morning. Or I can go out to lunch and be like, you know what, I'm going to go to that cute cafe and I'm going to have lunch. I think even like a Starbucks would be fine. But all of these are here for me to go step away, which feels counterintuitive, but step away from work when I'm feeling crazy. And then I come back and I'm I am much more efficient. I am easier to work with. I am a better boss. I am a better, coach and consultant for my clients. I just show up better, and my time will flow easier and quicker than if I try to like continue to grind when I am in that place of overwhelm. So I hope this helps with you finding your guidelines. Again, like you want to flip the language. So instead of me saying 20 minutes without looking at my phone in the morning, I would say I flipped it to say, take 20 minutes screen free in the morning. So you want to stay away from the don't and I won't and I can't, and flip it to whatever that positive would be of like 20 minutes of screen free time in the morning. And that's pretty much for everything that we're going to be talking about. Now, I also on this guideline, let me add it back to the screen. We're going to talk about the business practices, which are similar to the guidelines. So I have some specific examples for that to show you guys what's the difference. We went over the financial last week. We went over the marketing last week. So today we're going to talk about systems. So systems would be, again, we pick that mantra, systems will make running my business easy breezy. So there are so many systems nowadays to like make your lives easier. I would definitely pick something that is going to help with tracking your finances, whether that's QuickBooks or I forget the name of the other one, Xero. Whatever it is, like something that is going to help you track your finances. As creatives and designers, that's not always like our forte. It's like organization and tracking. So the more systems that we can pull in to help automate that, the better. So the QuickBooks, that's the one I use, but there are other programs or platforms. Like I said, all I have to do is like link my bank account. Everything gets inputted automatically. My accountant goes and categorizes it, but it's also not really that difficult to categorize on your own. So I will teach my clients how to maintain their own QuickBooks. And you can pull profit loss. It's just wonderful. So please, 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 one of your systems should be how to track your finances. Other systems could be how you are going to post on Instagram. Maybe you're going to use a platform that will help pre-post things for a month in advance. Maybe I'm trying to think of other systems. There's a ton of systems for social media and organization there. Maybe you're going to have some sort of organizational tool for tracking your progress steps on your development. How are you going to do your tech packs? Maybe you're going to pull in a platform there. So you want to think about systems, and it could be something as simple as like creating a desk and a space for working, that I'm only going to work in this room, and I'm going to organize a desk. Like that's a system of where you're going to work and how you're going to work. So if you don't have a space set up to work in, you can do that. Now with myself, the systems, because I've been in business for 15 years, I have so many systems in place already. So this one was challenging for me for 2024 because I can't really think of any systems that I don't already have in place. And I am very organized, maybe even a slightly OCD. So I do have systems for everything to try and automate as much as possible. So yeah, you may not have a lot of systems that you need if you've been in business for a while, and that's okay. All right, so the next topic here is practices. We want to pick a mantra. The example I have here is I have all the time to get things done I need and will always finish on time. So some sort of mantra that's going to help. So practices are very similar to the guidelines. It's basically like guidelines, but applied to your business specifically. And I can tell you one that I started implementing recently, since last week. It was just since last week. I'm not going to work on my phone. What was happening, and this had so much to do with my overwhelm and I didn't even realize it, but what was happening is like I would wake up in the morning and I'd check my email and I'd respond. And, when I was with Aries, that's my little boy, I was also working, trying to check emails and answer emails. And if you guys have a toddler, they don't necessarily like you on your phone. So he's screaming or trying to grab my phone, wanting my attention. But basically what was happening was I wasn't doing anything well. I wasn't like being present for my child, or even like at night, I would put the baby to bed and I'd sit on my phone and I would answer emails. So instead of having that like downtime at night, I was still working. So it was kind of like I was working kind of always. Like I knew I needed to set a stronger boundary between like, this is work time. This is time I spend with my family. This is downtime in the morning. That was huge too, because like, who wants to work, like open emails? My son wakes me up at like 6 a.m. Like there's no need. I love all my clients, but there's no need for me to be emailing anyone at 6 a.m. So that has helped tremendously. That is going to be a practice that I'm going to stick to for the rest of the year. And if I slip, I can come back to, again, this every quarter to remind myself like, oh yeah, I said I was going to do that. And I've been checking my work email again, and here I am again. So picking this up every quarter is great. The other practice I implemented, me and my team are hour tracking to see how much time we're spending on everything. So how much is the marketing costing? How much is invoicing, internal emails, client work? Like just doing an evaluation of time management, I guess it would be, but really just to evaluate the business and get a stronger hold of like, how are we all spending our time? And now, even if this is just for you, it's really extremely helpful, because what that did for me, because I'm also tracking my time, is it made me, it shined light on knowing that, oh my gosh, I'm never really not working. And if I'm going to be tracking my time every time I'm on my phone emailing, it's like every 20 minutes throughout the entire day, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. So what I found right away was like, okay, I need to not work on my phone and set time aside where I am sitting on my laptop, and that's when I answer emails. And yes, I do have a ton of stuff going on in my brain of like, oh, I have to email that client about the fit models, or I have to email the person about the trade show. So instead, what I used to do is go straight to my phone and be like, now I'm just creating a list. I have a to-do list so that when I sit down at my desk next, I have that to-do list and I can go through it. And I'm telling you, it's changed my life. I've been a business owner for 15 years. I still need these reminders. Things still get wacky. So this is just an example of like why this business plan is so helpful, even after all these years. So practices, working on my laptop, avoiding working on my phone. Again, that's using a negative language, avoiding working on my phone. I'll fix it later when I'm filling this out. And then time management and tracking my time. Now, I'm not going to do that forever. Our team isn't going to do that forever. But what we talked about is if we do it for a month every quarter, we'll have a good idea at the end of the year, like to be able to evaluate pricing structures and how much everything is costing us. And it's going to be really helpful. So we're not doing that forever. It's a pain in the butt. But if I do have my clients time track to say, okay, I'm going to talk to you this week and next week, write down all the things that you're doing. You can be on a scratch paper, whatever, but like you've got so much going on and you're overwhelmed, but like, where are you spending your time? And it's really helpful in just managing. Are you spending your time efficiently, or are you filling your time with busy work? Very, very different. And as a business owner, it's really important that you're not just keeping yourself busy, that you are being very mindful with how you're spending your time, because there is a million things that you have to work on. And if I look at this with a client and I see that you're spending a lot of time talking to clients or emailing clients or shipping packages, or there are things on there that are really simple to delegate to an assistant, we'll say, okay, so you spent 20 hours last week doing work that if you had an intern or assistant, it'd be really easy to delegate. And if you had those 20 hours back, you could have designed your next collection. You could have done a trade show or done a pop-up event or planned something. Like, as the business owner, there are tasks that you should be focusing on and tasks that you can help, like ask for help and get employees to help with. So that's a good practice. Other practices, work hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. That one I have, well, like I said, I was working on my phone and it got all crazy, but at least for my staff, except for a couple, and I'm trying to get better. We all need to get better on this. Working 9 to 5. So not working outside of business hours on nights and weekends. It helps with creating that boundary so that I'm a better business owner when I show up. Same with my employees. So practices for that. And I don't know, like practices are just like how you want to operate business. Things that are important to you that are going to keep your business enjoyable and not overwhelming and a chore. So those are practices. The next section here is team. I will have a killer supportive team that I will love being a part of my business. So this isn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be employees. Like for a new designer, it might not be, you might not be able to hire a full team, but maybe you will pull in, like, who is the person that you respect for design advice? Who is the person you respect for financial advice? Are you going to hire an assistant? Are you going to have an advisor like me or someone that's going to help with structuring the business and strategy for moving forward? Are you going to have a pattern maker, sample maker? Who's your manufacturer going to be? Like, all of these people are going to be your team. And it is essential. You can't do all of this alone. It's too much. So who is going to be on your team? They could be paid employees, they could be contractors, or they could be loved ones that you know you can rely on. So that's the team. And the last section here, if you want, because what I found is when I was doing this, a lot of the personal goals would come up in my head. So I just started adding those to the bottom here of like, what are my personal resolutions for the year? So if you wanted to add those. But there you have it. This is the business plan template. I'll run you through it again. We've got a theme for the year. When you're done with all of this, look at this plan and pick 3 to 4 tasks to focus on. So for 1-1, you can focus on, like I said, not working on my phone, setting up the QuickBooks, setting up my Instagram, getting my business bank accounts together. So all of this is what I want to focus on Q1. And then you come back at Q2, 3, and 4, pick some other things and go through this. And like I said in last week's call, like if there's something that's standing out that you're just avoiding at all costs, figuring out why. Maybe it's something you need to delegate, or it isn't something that you should be focusing on. Maybe it's you need to pivot to a different direction because whatever you wrote down is not working. So being able to be honest about that and have some awareness. But yeah, financial, marketing, systems, practices, and team. And like I said, if you want this template, you can email me, Anna@vmora.com. Oh, I thought that whole time I had the template on. Here's the template again. Theme, guidelines, financial, marketing, systems, practices, and team. So if you want the template, but it's easy enough, you can make it yourself, but I will send it to you. So there you have it for 2024. I've been doing this every year. It's so helpful. If you want to book a session with me, if you're stuck on this and you need some help or you want someone to help review it, you can always do that. I'm always available for a la carte strategy sessions. If you are interested in working with us, we do a 20-minute complimentary strategy session. And then I also have, I don't have it available. Hold on, I'll go grab it. We have this book here, which has all the steps of how to launch a clothing line. This is available on our website. It's a really great place to start if you're looking to start a clothing line and you're not really sure what your first step should be. This should be your first step. That is available on our website. All right. Well, thank you all so much. I hope that you got, oh, and again, I want to give credit to my business coach, Gina Gaberlini. G-A Bellini is how you spell it. She's the one that introduced me to this business plan over a decade ago. And I've modified it a little bit for just like my clients and designers, but she is the business coach that I was working with that made me realize like how important a business coach is and why I started doing more coaching and strategizing with clients along with the production management, patterns and samples, because there's so much more to business than just the logistics of things. I mean, not the logistics, but like the, I don't know, like the patterns, the samples, like those are the concrete things, but strategy and budgeting and mindset and all of that is really important too. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week at 12:30. For those of you in New York, we will be at the Fabric Show. It is Wednesday and Thursday of next week. I don't know the location, but it's on my website. It's on my Instagram. I believe it's somewhere near Penn Station in New York, but I should have had this prepared. I'm sorry, but it'll be on all of our socials. We will be there. I'll be there on Wednesday. Allison will be there on Thursday. So please stop by our booth and see us. Also, this is an amazing place. All of the vendors there have small minimums, 5 yards or five yards for the minimum order. Some of them are less, but they've got great vendors. We will be there. Buttons, fabrics, inner linings, like everything that you need. There's vendors there. So yes, definitely. It's a great place to stop by and come and see us. And we would love to see you. So perfect. All right. Well, we'll see you next week. And yeah, thanks. Have a good week.